I'm here on the sidelines of the Morningstar Investment Conference 2018, and I'm joined today by Morningstar CEO Kunal Kapoor. Now, Kunal, you're talking there today about the role of financial advice, and as someone from the US, your observations about what that means for advisors and for the people who use their advice, and just sort of comparing and contrasting with the US situation.
Well, I think it's a bit of an irony that here in Australia we're going through a period right now where the value of advice is being questioned so heavily. And it's certainly the case that some of the things that the Royal Commission has unearthed, they're just unacceptable. But I think if you step back from it, a lot of the advice and the advisors who work in the industry probably do not deserve to be painted with the same brush. And if you're an individual today, I think the key thing that you want to think about if you're looking to work with an advisor is to really understand what are the incentives of that advisor in terms of how they deliver advice to me. I think if you can understand that and use that as a basis for forming a good relationship, I think it's a great way to start. Also, just understanding your advisor's investment philosophy, how they think about helping build outcome-based portfolios. I think the relationship needs to be deep in that sense, because you really are hiring your personal finance manager. And so I think perhaps if I was thinking about all of this, it's actually a great time to be getting advice because the tools available to advisors are better than ever before. But the reality is you got to know who's delivering that advice and be comfortable first and foremost.
And just lastly, I mean, you've alluded to the best interests. I mean, in Australia we have the best interest provision for financial advisors, and it's something that is also being talked about pretty heavily in the US at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, the best interest standard really just comes down to ensuring that an advisor is acting in the best interests of the client and not necessarily providing recommendations that may not be appropriate for that client. But at the end of the day, regulations are going to certainly have an impact. But I'd go back to my first point. When you're sitting down with your advisor, understand what their motivations are, understand how they're being compensated, and get comfortable with it. And be sure to ask them, will you act in my best interests? Because at the end of the day, you're hiring a human, and you got to be comfortable with that human, and you got to be comfortable with their ethics. And I would submit that probably most advisors are doing the right thing and are in it for the right reasons. And so if you can get aligned on what your best interest looks like and how the advisor can get you to that, I think you'll be in good shape, regulations or not.
Any advice in this video is general advice prepared by Morningstar without reference to your financial objectives, situation, or needs. You should consider the advice in light of these matters and any relevant product disclosure statement before making any decision to invest.